All right, happy Friday to all our listeners out there, and welcome back to Afternoons Live with Tyler Axness. I'm Gretchen Dobervich, filling in for Tyler on the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. And this afternoon, we're talking about preparing for cold weather. Interesting on a day where it's warm enough that we're getting some drizzle and some rain on a December afternoon. So if you'd like to join us in that conversation, you can call us on the KFGO studio line at 701-237-5948, sponsored by Laney's. You can also join us by Text Club at the KFGO Text Club 35270, sponsored by Adventure RV. And thank you, Gunderson Jewelers, for sponsoring the KFGO studio this afternoon. And our next guest is Andrea Goeden, and Andrea is the program director for the West Central Community Action Energy Assistance Program. In the last hour, we had the North Dakota Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program on to talk about assistance available to North Dakotans who might be struggling to keep their lights on, keep their electricity on, keep the heat going during the winter months. Also about some home improvements that can be made to help winterize and make homes in North Dakota a little more energy efficient so that the heating bills aren't quite so high and a little bit more manageable. And so this hour, we're really excited to have Andrea join us so we can talk about what assistance is available to Minnesotans who might find themselves in a position where, gosh, it's starting to get cold out and not sure if we're going to make it with that heating bill. So thank you, Andrea, for joining us this afternoon.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me.
So I guess my first question is a little. Tell us about the Energy Assistance Program. What does it do for Minnesotans?
Sure. So I'm probably going to mimic a little bit of what North Dakota programs look like. So for Minnesotans, they can apply for the Energy Assistance Program with a simple online application or a paper application. We use a 1-month income guideline to get you qualified, and then you'll ultimately receive a grant that does not have to be repaid. That grant can be used to pay for your home heating fuel or to be utilized towards your home's electric or utility bill. So we pay your grants out to your vendors. So, money passes right over to your account with them. And then you basically draw down your funds until they reach a zero balance. And we do encourage you to make, payments on your own because grants are an assistance. They're not meant to cover those bills in full. And then you become eligible for other programs. With West Central, we have you ultimately access other programs that we offer here at our agency. If we don't have a program that you are in need of, but you indicate maybe having other needs that may be SNAP benefits or something the county can help out with, then we community partner with them, and then we can get you over to some other services.
All right. So who, Andrea, is eligible for this? So West Central Community Action, I think of a West Central Minnesota, a specific area. Is this a program that's available to all Minnesotans?
You are right. You can be a renter or a homeowner to be eligible in Minnesota for this program. We personally, with West Central, serve 7 counties, but there are, I believe, 26 counties in Minnesota, 26 community actions in Minnesota that serve the counties that we do not currently serve. If you are in the 7 counties that we serve, that would be Clay County, Douglas County, Grant County, Hope County, Stevens County, Wilkin County, and Traverse County. So we're more in just that middle of the state with those 7 counties, and then, of course, all the little towns that are in between.
All right. And who, how, what? Tell it's a Friday. Sorry about that, Andrea. So, who is eligible? In North Dakota, we have an income guideline as to who is
Sure.
eligible to access these programs. Does Minnesota have a income eligibility as well?
We do also have income eligibility. So family sizes, um, let's see, one member to 16 members. We follow a 50% state median income. So, for example, a household size of 2, 1 month income cannot exceed $3,559. And then it just is it slides with each member that you add to that. I would just encourage you, if you are looking to know if you are eligible under the income guidelines, please call us. Even if we're not the county that you live in, we're more than happy to look up the income level with your household size and then just give you a little bit of an idea, if you're eligible or not. We always encourage all members, if they're maybe on just that upper side and unsure whether or not they want to apply for assistance, we encourage all to just supply an application. We can put the data in the system and determine that eligibility. And maybe this month you're not eligible, but you've had some type of change to your financial situation or your household situation, and we are always more than happy to have you redetermined with a new time frame of income. So it's not like apply once and you're done. We can certainly have you apply as many times as it takes to get you eligible under your circumstances.
And that's a great setup for my next question, which is, when should people apply? Is it when they think, there's not enough paycheck left to cover what's left of the month? It's cold, it's January, we got to keep the heat on. Is it once they've received a notice that they're going to get a cutoff? Is it once they have had their utilities turned off? At what point should someone living in Minnesota who unfortunately finds themselves in this situation during our cold winter, when should they reach out to West Central Community Action or the community action in the part of Minnesota they live in?
Definitely always reach out before you get to that point of being shut off at 9 a.m. the next morning. It just allows us here and our team to get the proper application filled out, your income documents in the system, so we can serve you to the best of our ability and in the quickest way possible. So that's what I always encourage, is that first hint where you're looking at your budget and money's looking really tight. Definitely reach out to your community action provider and definitely ask for some assistance before you get to the point of the door knocking and they're turning that power off.
So earlier in the show, we had Senator Rob Kupak on, and he talked about Minnesota's cold weather rule, where in Minnesota, sometime in October to, I believe it was sometime in April, your heat can't be turned off. Doesn't mean you don't have to pay for it still,
Right.
but it can't be turned off. Ideally you enter into a payment plan with your utility provider. Can these funds be used to help pay that bill?
Absolutely. So our Minnesota Energy Assistance Funds can be used for current bills or an arrearage owed. So we can pay past due bills. We can pay your last year's heating arrearage that's sitting at your LP or a fuel oil vendor, and get that paid up. So that way, moving forward, things become a little bit more easier for you to manage.
And is the application process the same if you're applying for new? We haven't had this happen before, as to where we had our power shut off and now we're in this agreement to pay back, to keep it on. Do you still apply the same way? Do you reach out to your local community action application? Pretty similar?
Pretty similar. We handle what we consider triaging crisis applications according to specific weather emergencies those who apply and have no heating fuel, for example, their application is expedited versus somebody who is applying but maybe isn't quite at that emergency life-threatening stage yet. So we really have to take priority into consideration when there's cold weather involved, a blizzard's on the way, and you have a tank with 10% fuel. In those types of circumstances. But ultimately, the process of applying is the same. Same application, same income guidelines apply.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Andrea. Andrea Goeden, West Central Community Action Energy Assistance Program for our listeners in Minnesota. If you find yourself in an unfortunate position where you need some assistance keeping that heat on this winter, don't forget to reach out to your local community action. This is Gretchen Dobervich filling in on Afternoons Live with Tyler Axness on the Mighty 790 104.7 KFGO. We're going to go into a break.